Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rosie, and if you are new here, please do consider subscribing. I post new videos every single Monday, Wednesday and Friday. So today I wanted to talk to you about 3 different apps that I think would make journaling easy for those of us who don't particularly enjoy journaling. So if you watch any of those kind of entrepreneur videos or self-help videos, you'll know that journaling is often mentioned along with exercise and, eating well. All these different things are considered good to do to be healthy, mind, body and spirit or soul. And obviously journaling is one of these things that is always mentioned, and I have tried journaling several times. I have several journals with 1 or 2 pages written in it, and then I kind of stop, buy a new journal, think I'm going to do it again, and then again I write 3 pages, and then I stop and I kind of give up again. So I've kind of been on the hunt for a couple of different apps that could help me journal as and when I want to, in the way that I want to, and I found 3 different apps that I want to talk to you today about. So I'm screen recording my phone. I'm going to pop that on the side here so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But all 3 of these apps are different for different reasons, and they're also good for different reasons. So I kind of use each of them sporadically, I would say. I'm not yet journaling every single day. I'm trying my best. I completely missed yesterday, so that just shows how well I'm doing. So I'm going to talk to you about 3. I'm going to talk to you about the first one is called Prompted Journal. Now this is one that I downloaded very, very recently. I would say about 2 weeks ago, I would say. And it's actually been really, really helpful. So I personally struggle with knowing what to write about in my journal. I don't particularly enjoy the whole, like, today I had cereals for breakfast, and then I talked to Jeremy about this, and then this happened, then we went for a walk, and kind of just a story journal. I find it probably more helpful to answer questions and reflect back on my childhood or how I think about things or certain topics. And I feel like something like this is really, really great, because otherwise you kind of have to go on Pinterest or Instagram and try and find journal prompts, whereas this has somebody already in the app and it gives you space just to write. So sometimes I will just put a bullet point and that'll be it. And other days I'll write a whole passage, depending on what the question is, depending on how much time I give myself, depending on how I'm feeling that day. But it's really, really great to have these questions to kind of make you think about different things that maybe you haven't thought about before, or you haven't thought about writing down in a journal or reflecting on. So I'm just going to go ahead and, so this is the one that it's showing me for today. It says my top 5 values are, so obviously this one you give 5 bullet points. And the thing I like about it is everyone is dated, and also there has this dive deeper button. So it says blow off some values that you can choose from: family, creativity, compassion, positivity, fitness, learning, blah, 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 blah. And then it says, if none of these fit, see if there are synonyms of these words that resonate more. After you choose your top values, define them for yourself further. For example, let's say you choose adventure. What does adventure mean to you? What about it makes it so valuable? And I think that's also really great with this app, is it always gives you dive deeper kind of questions or scenarios or things to think about, so that if you don't quite understand the question or you're not quite sure what you could write about, it kind of gives you hints and tips to help you along the way, which, for if you're somebody like me who is very new to journaling, could be really, really helpful to kind of have that guiding hand, just kind of helping you along your way, helping you think about your thoughts a little bit deeper, and kind of ask you different questions as well. It asks you one main question, but then also throws in different questions there. So what does adventure mean to you? What about it makes it so valuable? It kind of makes you dive deeper into the questions. So on the entries tab on the bottom left, it shows you all the entries. I'm not going to click on there because I don't really know what I've written about recently. But I'm just going to show you the settings. So settings here, you can set daily reminders. So I have mine set to 10:30 a.m. and 10:30 p.m. so that twice a day I'm journaling. Now this might be too much for you, it might be too little. I find it works quite well. Kind of as I wake up and as I go to bed, I kind of answer a different question in the morning and in the evening. But obviously you can turn that off, and you can also change the times. You can journal once a day. I think you can probably journal 5 times a day if you want to. I'm not sure what the total, like the maximum is. But at the moment I've got 2 times per day. You can also view all the prompts. So I wanted to show you this. So you can have, so the first one is Dear Future Me, blank. So you kind of write a letter to your future self. So, it kind of gives you the dive deeper tools as well to help you answer that. Dear past me, happiness is, I find it so beautiful that, I'm getting in the way of my goals by, if money weren't a concern, I find it difficult to tolerate, a memory that makes me smile. So there's all these different prompts to help you journal about how you're feeling, about how your day's gone, maybe things that are on your mind at the moment. I've noticed that quite a few of these questions I've had a similar answer, and it's interesting because the questions have nothing to do with each other, but I somehow come out with the same answer, something that I'm obviously thinking about quite a lot, something that I may be worried about. And it's just interesting to journal twice a day, answering different questions, but kind of find the correlation and the relationships between the answers that you're giving, and kind of thinking about, okay, maybe this is something that I'm actually worried about or that I'm thinking about, and maybe it's something that I want to take action on or not, either way. But it's just quite nice to, I don't know, just sit and reflect on things and how, these deep kind of questions, like if I die tomorrow, I will most regret not having done. So what's the thing, if you were to die tomorrow, what would you regret not doing the most? A positive change that I have experienced in the past year, I'm lucky because. So there's kind of a whole lot of different prompts, and I think there's 99. You can pay for the premium version. I'll check in a second how much that costs. But with the free version, you get 99. So that means that because I'm doing mine twice a day, I'll have about 50 days worth of questions, and then it'll go back to the beginning. You can pay for more questions. So it looks like they've got 166. So it's about another 66, 67 more. But yeah, I'm finding it really, really helpful because, like I said, I don't often sit at a journal and think, oh, what would my 5-year-old self be proud of me for? Or, oh, if I die tomorrow, what's the thing that I'll regret not doing? Or whatever it is. It's quite hard to think of these questions for yourself, especially if you're new to journaling like I was. So I'm finding this really, really helpful. So if we go back, so that's all the prompts. You can also add your own prompts or create your own if you want to pay for the paid version. You can also create a PDF, and I think it's $12 per year if you want to pay for the extras. I haven't done so far. I don't think it is something I will do, honestly. I think if I do this for 50 days, I would hope that by then I would have some idea of what I want to journal about and kind of questions to ask myself, things to reflect back on. But if I do want to, that is always an option there, to pay that extra $12 to get more questions and to get more features. So that's the first one that I wanted to show you. I find it quite helpful. I also like the fact that it does remind me. So every morning and evening I have that little one notification, and if that drives you mad, you'll know to do the app, you'll know to do your journaling. So I think it's really great. I think for free, I think it's amazing. Obviously with the paid version as well, you get to see more of the dive deeper questions. So it asks, there's always that additional dive deeper, but with the paid, which is $12 a year, which honestly for a journal is about the same price as a paper book anyway, so that's completely reasonable, I think. If you pay for the paid version, it gives you more questions in the dive deeper section as well. So that was the first one I wanted to talk to you about, and that one is called Prompted Journal. The second one I found recently is called Morning. So I've just skipped it to tomorrow to show you the layout. Now this is the same layout every single day. There's not different questions, there's not different settings or different things you can do. It's just this, which I think works really well also for people who either don't like to journal or don't particularly have time or give themselves time to journal, because it can literally be done in 5 minutes. You can quickly go and it's done. On the toilet, in bed, on your commute to work, whatever you're doing, having your breakfast, you can quickly fill this in. So this is what it says anyway. It says, so it has the date on top, Thursday, August 26th, 2021. I'm grateful for, and then here you can write in 3 little things that you're grateful for. So it might be waking up in a warm, comfy bed, having breakfast with my husband, and I have a job that pays me well. Whatever it is, but you can think of 3 different things that you're grateful for that day. Something I'm trying to do is change it every day, so not to have the same things, and try and think of different things that I'm grateful for. The next section is what would make today great. Now I quite enjoy this because it means that I can plan 3 things in my day without the pressure of actually having to do it, if that makes sense. Like it's a bonus if I do it, like it's a, if I do this, it would make today great, but it's not as if I have to do it. It's not like a to-do list. So things for this might be, if I do yoga, if I go for a run, if I play a board game, if I read my book, if I go for a swim, whatever it is, you can try and find 3 things that would make today great. Maybe it's calling a friend, calling a family member. And I think it's great to have that in the morning so that you kind of got the whole day then to try and do it before the evening. And then also you've got a space there for daily affirmation. Now this one is great as well because this is something I don't often do, is affirmations, but I feel like they really are powerful. So you could put in here, I am capable, I am worthy of love, I am worthy of success, everything I want will come to me. Whatever it is, any affirmations that you kind of found online or anything that resonates with you on that day in particular, you can write that in there. And it's quite a good one because I find that on days where I'm not motivated, I'll, put something like, you can do it. Or if maybe I worry about money, I'll say, you know, something to do with money or friendship or whatever it is, you can kind of create your own affirmations for the day. And if you write it in the morning, you then have the whole day to kind of remember that affirmation for yourself. So then the next section is a darker colour, and these ones are for in the evening. So what are some amazing things that happened today? So again, you could either repeat the 3 things that would make today great if you did them, or mention 3 different things that happened today. So you could say, I got a surprise phone call from my grandma, I had cake for dinner, and it was nice and sunny all day. Like, it doesn't have to be like this amazing, you know, big thing. It can literally be that it was sunny and that made today great. And then what could I have done to make today better? Now, I like this one because even though it's nice to reflect on what did go well, it's also nice to reflect on what could have been done better. So maybe it would have been better if I'd have called that person, or maybe it would have been better if I relaxed a bit more, or if I did more work, or if I went outside more, whatever it is. It's nice to reflect on that, so that then the next day when you open the app, it opens up to the day before, and you can see, oh, yesterday would have been better if I'd have called my brother, or if I'd have gone for a walk. So then you can start that day thinking, what would make today great? Call my brother, going for a walk, and one extra thing. So it's really great to kind of keep track of yourself, but it's also super, super quick. It's not like lengthy paragraphs and big explanations and deep diving. It's just kind of surface level, but it also taps in a little bit. So I'm really enjoying this app. So if you click on the calendar along the bottom, that goes to all the days. It kind of shows you a little snippet of that day. So I'm not going to click on there because it might be a little bit personal. If you click on the air quotes here, there's a quote of the day. And I think every single day it generates a new quote. I've never honestly, I think I clicked on this in the first day. It's having trouble loading. Okay, so that's not loading. So I'm going to go over to settings, and you can have a password lock on this one. I'm not sure if you can with the last one. I'm not sure. You can change the app colours. Oh, if you pay for the premium. So things like the colours I'm really not bothered about, but you can pay for the extra. Let me see how much it says it is. App colours. It doesn't say how much it is, but I think you have to pay for the extra things. Yeah, you have to pay for that. You have to pay to export the journal as well. So there's a lot of things you have to pay for. But I think for kind of basic gratitude and kind of just a basic quick journal, I think this one really does tick a lot of boxes. And the third one I want to talk to you about is called Day One. So this one I have used in the past. I've deleted it, I've used it again, I've deleted it. So I've just reinstalled it today so I could talk to you about it. So there aren't any posts on here. It says 2 entries. So I wrote this one today just to kind of test it out again and to show you how it works. So if you add new at the bottom, you could browse, you can add text, you could add a photo, you can take a photo with your camera. So here I wrote a text, and I just wrote, hello journal, this is the place to write about anything going on in your life without judgment. It's a great place to write about daily life and struggles, as well as a place to celebrate any wins. So this is less about questions, it's less about gratitude, it's less about your day, it's more about a kind of life journal. So you could, you know, really, I think in there you could complain about things, you could talk about people, you could say, oh, today I had a really shitty day because XYZ, this happened, I really want that to happen, or this was great. And it's just a great place to vent, honestly. The other good thing I like about this is that you can add photos. So this one I added from Monday 23rd. I just put the title photo for my video. This is one of the photos I took on my camera, which went onto my phone for my previous video on Wednesday when I was talking about a book. So you can add photographs, which I think this app would be really good as a travel journal, because you could write about the day without having to carry around like a big actual paper book. And you can add in photographs from certain days. So if you go to Egypt and go on camels, whatever it is, you can add photographs. And you can also add the text for kind of today we did this, this, that. And you can kind of have this as more of a diary and more of like a day-to-day what's going on in your life. Like today I got up at 6 a.m, I did this, that and the other. So I think this one could be really great as well for a lot of people. So there's the option to do audio, and I think you have to pay for that. So it says $35 per year to be able to record audio entries. So if that's something you're into, that is an option. Again, $35 is not too bad for a journal. I feel like that's probably a price you could pay for a paper one, honestly, like a nice leather one. Some things to know about this. So if you click on media, it shows you all the media you've uploaded. If you press the new, the plus sign, it gives you different options. So I think it does give you a daily prompt. Today is how do you organise yourself, and you can answer that. It also gives you the option of, again, the text and the photo and the camera and things. map, so it can show you where on the map you were when you wrote certain blog entries, and calendar. So here I quite like that it shows you a photograph that you uploaded on that day. So again, it could be quite a nice one if you're looking through here and thinking, oh, what day was it that I rode that camel? Oh, well, it was July 14th, whatever it would be. So if we go back to timeline up here, and if you press the settings tab on the top, you can change the colour, I believe. I tried this earlier. So again, you can add a passcode if that's something you want to do to keep it private, which I think is good. Do you know, honestly, I always struggle with paper ones. I always worry that somebody's going to find it. And especially I was cleaning out my parents' house recently and I found some journals from like 10, 15 years ago, and it's so cringe. Whereas something like this, if it's locked on your phone, no one can get in. Make sure you use a good password, but it is somewhere you can actually write what you want without people reading it. But I think you can change the colours. I think I saw it earlier. Let me just check. So sync, journals. You can get text messaging. I don't quite know what that is, if I'm honest. Reminders, so you can have notifications if that's something you want to do. You can have the daily prompts like I showed you earlier. I really thought you could change the colour. I saw it earlier and now I can't see it. So you can have the past, you can have the appearance, so you can change the theme, whatever that means. You can change the font and the font size. It also says you can change the app icon, so if you want to use a pink or green or something else. Again, I'm not really bothered about that. I'm sure earlier I clicked on it somehow and I saw different colours. Anyway, so there are different things you can do there in the settings. If you select the three dots on the top right, it has journal settings, export, preview book. So I think you can make books from your journals, which kind of is the opposite of what I just said, and that you can write anything and not have people read it. But anyway, and so that is the third journal option. So there was the prompted journal, which gives you prompts every single day to answer. Again, you can do bullet points, you can do paragraphs, you can have once a day or probably 5 times a day. You don't have to do it every single day either. You can go ahead and look at all of your entries and kind of compare. Something I forgot to mention actually with that one is that it says when you sign up that once you finish the 50-day, if you do it twice per day like me for example, after 50 days you go back to the first question. It says it's quite interesting because you can read your response from 2 or 3 months ago and then see how you answer it differently. So I think you'll probably answer the same questions 3 or 4 times per year, but you can go ahead and compare your answer from 6 months ago or a year ago to how you feel today, depending on how often you have the journal entries. And then there was the morning one, which is the gratitude, things that would make today great and your affirmation, and then things that made today great and things that could be made better. So that one's a quick little, a good one to kind of motivate you for the day, I would say. And then there's day one, which is more for journaling, longhand, more kind of photographs and dear diary, today this happened, this happened. So yeah, those are my 3 options for journaling if you're not a journaler already. Be sure to let me know in the comment section below if you use any of these already, if I've inspired you to use any of these, to download any of them. That would be really lovely to have a conversation. Do you journal already? If so, do you prefer a book or do you prefer using your phone? Let's have a conversation in the comment section below. I really hope you enjoyed this video and it was useful for you. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up, consider subscribing, and I will see you very soon. Bye!